back since we got back to the women thing, I did want to go back to your son and parenting.
Okay.
So at you graduating high school, you already have your son, and you told Jackie your first baby mom and dad.
Or the first mother of my child.
The first mother of your child.
Yeah. They don't like that.
Yeah. You told the mother of your child at that point that you didn't want to be the kind of father that you had growing up.
Right.
So, how do you think that you did it? How do you think you're doing it? Because your son's about to graduate high school now. Is he graduated now? Or is he going to?
He will be.
Next year?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, how do you think you did?
I always feel as if there's room for growth. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I always feel as if, I mean, even to this day, you feel me? Like, I always feel as if I could have did better. I feel as if I could always do better with my youngest son. So, like, I always feel as if you can always aim to be a better parent. But my situation was a little different because when an individual feels some type of way, they tend to make a situation a little bit harder than what it needs to be. So it was a lot harder for me to build a bond, spend time with Javier as he got older. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been in all of my children's life, especially in their their younger years, toddler years, and the actual youth of their childhood. I've been there. But once he got a little bit older, that situation, changed slightly. So I wasn't necessarily able to crazy. You know what? Now we'll be honest. Like I kind of feel like almost like dad a little bit, or how I felt about dad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How I felt about him, I kind of feel about myself in regards to Javi. If that makes sense to you. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, you're there, but you're not filling that role.
Right. Not necessarily feeling that. Yeah. I guess you could say that. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How does that affect you in your relationship with yourself and with your father? Does it make you understand his situation, like in retrospect, a little bit more? Does it make you feel worse about yourself? Or like, how does that make you feel?
I don't know if it makes me feel worse about myself. It makes me feel as if I'll put it to you like this. All right, so with dad or our father, I see him trying to make an actual effort to be in my son's life, both of them, a lot more than he would. I'm not going to say, I guess, a lot more. And then, like the engagement, you get what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more than what I feel as if it was between me and my father. So and that's not a bad thing because me and my grandfather, his dad, like when I was little, he was around for the most part. But as I got older, he was not around. So I feel as if for him to really, he's doing two birds, one stone. He's not only doing better than what his dad did in regards to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing better than what he did in regards to
his grandkids as well.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying to you? Like, so I can't really be mad at him about, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, parenting is something that you learn every single day. And nobody ever wakes up and be like, they're going to be the best parent in the world. Curse, but ain't nobody going to be just like the best parent in the world. You know what I mean? Like, there's something that not only, like, some people have terrible parents. And that alone makes them want to be the best parent in the world. And they still work on it every single day. So as long as I have kids and grandkids, or whenever I do have grandkids, or whatever the case may be, I'm still going to constantly try to be a better father.
Yeah.
But even a better uncle. Because the kids ain't asked to be here. And like I said, like, my situation was a little bit different than that. Mom never made it hard for him to see me. Mom never made it hard for him to spend time with me, and nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I can't really say.
You don't relate to it as much.
Yeah, man, his situation is slightly different in that aspect.
But yeah, you said that, mom never made it too difficult for you. So now that you're a father of, is it 4 now?
Yeah, I got 4, 2 boys, 2 girls.
So a father of 4 now, and for you, mom didn't make it hard for dad, but in some of your situations, I know, especially with your first daughter, is a little bit more difficult than anybody would really want.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'll put it like this. I have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls, and 3 women that have birthed my children. That's the best way that I can put it without sounding ratchet. But all of them, at some point in time in my life, have made it hard to see my children. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a group effort. It wasn't like it wasn't like an anti-Anthony type joint. You feel me? But like, no, like I said,
it's like, yeah, girl, I do the same thing, girl. Mm-hmm. What did you do? All right, I'm gonna try that. But appreciate it.
It's my turn. Take me off the turnbuckle. Yeah, they probably do one of them draws. But no, yeah, like they all have individually. I mean, and I can't necessarily blame them. I mean, I can blame them for keeping the children away from me. You know what I'm saying? Due to how they feel emotionally about me, because I don't feel as if, like I said, the children didn't ask to be here, and it's not like I'm not a pop or I've never been a dad that didn't want to be in my kid's life. So that's the only thing that I could say, like, not hold a grudge about, but that's why, that's the only plight that I have with all of them. Because as a parent, I would never keep the other parent away from my child unless you're doing something to harm my child. You get what I'm saying to you? So for you to for you to emotionally tie how you feel into me spending time with our child, that don't sit right with me. You know what I mean? But yes, all of them at some point in time, all 3 of them have made it.
Do you feel like that's something as a perspective that's not talked about enough or taken seriously enough? Some men say it, and then other women combat it. Fighting against them, like, nah, it's not really like that. Or from what you've seen with your friends or people that you know, do you think that that's a perspective that people ignore a lot of times?
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, now sometimes it is valid for an individual to keep their child away from a person, like I said. You know what I mean? Like, even if they're not physically doing something to their child, but they might have that child in an environment that ain't safe. Had a child in a bando or something like that, or you know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying, like in the mix basically, and that's not where you want your child to be. You know what I'm saying to you? So I can understand if the individual has that mind frame or whatever case may be, then that's fine. But no, it's not talked on enough, and I don't feel as if I feel like, it's probably ignored or overlooked, or either that or maybe enough men don't actually speak on it. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people don't necessarily want that out there like that. So that makes a difference too.
Do you think it comes from them not being believed, or you think it's from protecting, like, I don't want my child to think this about their mother?
Probably a little bit of both. Yeah, probably a little bit of both. I can see that.
So how do you choose to handle that situation with your children when it comes to difficulties with their mothers and seeing the children, or even with yourself, just like, I need to kind of get myself in order so I can be there more? How do you handle that whole dynamic with your daughters, with your sons? I know. Do you raise and handle your daughters differently from your sons? Do you think that you should raise them the same way? Like, how do you handle them?
I think I do handle my daughters and my sons differently. You know what I mean? And a mother or a father's going to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like a mother's going to cling to her son a little bit stronger than her daughters. The daughter and the mother might have a great bond. And a girl's always going to be daddy's little girl. Yeah. So not to say that you love that child any differently than the other one, but it's going to be a little bit of a bond there, a little different bond. Like, I was like that with my mother. My mother's my best friend. And it wasn't because of, how I felt about Pop or felt about our dad. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, it just so happened that Mom is my best friend to this day. And I feel like it should be like that, though, kind of. It should be like that. And you understand, like, even with animals, you know what I'm saying to you? Like, you can have a male dog and a female dog. The male dog is going to be more protective over your wife than if you were to have a female dog. It's the same. It's the same way.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I don't think it's anything against dad or any of my other father figures, but just like you said, I think it's just that bond that you have there, having a daddy's girl, mama's boy. It can have negative connotations a lot of times. I think that overall, but like, so when you handle that dynamic with your kids on the relationships do you keep that private as far as your relationship with their mothers from them? Do you let them know, like, hey, this is the reason why I'm not around? because it's something I'm doing, because it's something that we got going on, or do you just how do you handle that whole thing?
If all right, when they're younger, you really, I mean, I'll put it like this: a child gonna see it for themselves once they get of age.
Yeah.
Like my son is older now. He technically grown. He about to be 18 in a few months, but he realized now, like, all right, it wasn't just you not trying to be. He wasn't just trying. You know what I'm saying? Like he understands certain things now, and the difference of the difference now with my kids, with the youngest, even when me and her mother were going through our thing for a minute, and she was like drawing, but nonetheless, yeah, she was drawing.
You said that with every bit of anxiety in your voice.
She was drawing. Yeah. Yeah, at least, but not. She'll be honest with you though. Like I never missed, like like we never grew up doing like birthdays or Christmas or nothing like that. But I ain't never missed a birthday for young boy. Never missed Christmas for young boy. You know what I'm saying? Like even when she didn't want me to show up or didn't think that I was going to show up, like it's been time that I walked in the house and she choked on juice when I came through. To you, like yeah, like for real, bro. She was drawing, but nonetheless, like with him. Not to mention, like, not all my kids are smart, but you see how my youngest son is. Like, we don't even talk to him like he's a child. You know what I'm saying? I talk to him like he's a grown man because his mental is there. So, even if me and her have a dispute now, we talk to him about it. And, like, he didn't even know I was his pop at first. Mm-hmm. Like, he just found out. I mean, like, me and her both obviously knew that. You get what I mean? But he didn't know that.
What makes you say that he didn't know that? Like, what gave it away to that point? He said that, or
no, because she told him on Father's Day.
Which Father's Day?
Not this. Maybe like 2 years ago.
So when he was about what, three? Like 3?
Like 3. I think. Like he was like 3. Yeah. Because before then he was calling me like. He would call me dad. He would call me dad, and she would like Anthony. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, she would dead all that real quick. You feel me? Like that's why I say like she used to draw. You feel me? Like, and, like she got so petty at one point in time. She had my young boy call me Mister. Like, yeah, bro. Like,
how did that make you feel?
I was furious.
Like.
Furious, because it's not like I ain't never been there for him. You feel me? Like, now it's one thing for him to call me by my government. I used to call Mom Wanda all the time. You feel me? As a young boy, because I was so used to hearing Mommy and Daddy yell her name. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like necessarily. That's why I said like I used to look at Mom and Dad like my brother and sister. You know what I mean? I used to call her Wanda at one point in time, but yeah, I was furious behind that, especially when she threw the Mister on there. You feel me? Like I was furious about that.
Made you sound like a complete stranger, like a teacher.
Yeah, you feel? Yeah, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like me trying to make it sound almost like I was the stepdad. You feel me? Like, yeah, you feel me? Like, yeah, that joint was corny, bro.
She would slap somebody like, no, this is your dad.
Yeah, you feel me? Yeah, that was corny, but nonetheless, yeah, on the Father's Day, he found out. You know what I'm saying? Like we all sit down, and she told him.
How was that talk with him?
What, the actual talk?
Yeah.
First thing he said was like, "Dang, no, you're not." Yeah. He was like, "No, you're not." But he was used to his grandfather, her dad, being, like a father figure to him for the most part. Yeah. He was used to be coming around. He was even used to me, like, being around. I used to watch him or whatever, watch he worked or not. But that's when he was young. He wasn't even speaking then.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So like I said, like his situation was almost like my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like my grandfather was my father figure. You feel me? And my dad was always there.
Did you kind of see your life replaying at that point?
Yeah. History repeats itself.
Did that scare you at all?
Not necessarily worry. It didn't necessarily worry me because you make your bed, you lie in it. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm always going to be there. So I figured to myself, like, You can never tell him that. But when he do find out, he gonna be pissed with you, not me. You get what I mean? Because like he gonna look at it like, you let my father be in my life this whole time and you never wanted to tell me that that's my father. You know what I'm saying? He can't be mad at me for that. That's gonna be on her behalf. So like I said, as that child gets older, the child gonna see what it is. The child gonna see what's what at some point in time.
I think a lot of that has to, just like you said, both people have to really take a look at what they're doing, what they're not doing, and say, well, how is this going to affect my child? If it's a woman that's legit painting that picture that is a no good parent, you know, you have to pick. Okay, yeah, you might have a problem with him, but what effect is that going to have on your daughter or on your son of you painting this false narrative, rather than you can just suck it up and just you know, be peaceable.
Some girls mess around, have daddy issues and whatnot. You get what I mean? And that's why some men either don't trust women or they constantly looking for women because maybe their mother wasn't around like that. So they feel as if they need to fill that void at all times. You know what I'm saying? Psychologically. So it does play an effect on that child deeply at some point in time. If not emotionally, definitely mentally.